I'm coming at you with the cultural differences between Slovenia and the US. Okay, so the first cultural difference is that you have to carry cash in Slovenia. My first week here, I went to a coffee shop and I went to pay and they only took cash, no card. This is completely different from the US because US a lot of times you can only pay with card. So actually another thing about the cafes, I was in there once and the shop beside the cafe was closed and the postal service was delivering a package, but the business was closed. So they just gave it to the shop beside the coffee shop, which is completely abnormal because in the US you would never give a different company the package due to liability reasons. So this is just a difference in the culture as well. So the second thing is that on the weekends, all stores are closed. So grocery stores closed. You got to shop on Saturday if you want some groceries. The only spots that are open on Sunday are the touristy spots in the city center. That's where you'll find some restaurants that are open, but all grocery stores are closed on Sunday. This is very different from the US. So the third thing is the driving culture in Slovenia. In the US, you take a car everywhere. But in Slovenia, you can take the bus, you can take the bike, or you can just walk anywhere you're going. For me, I've been taking the bus everywhere and it's been great. They also have the bicicles, which is the bikes of Ljubljana, which are €3 for the whole year. So if you're looking to bike, this is a very affordable, easy way to do that. But walking is the main means of transportation. If you live in the city, in the US, you would never take a bus. You're always taking the car, and there's parking garages in every big city in order for everyone to have spots for parking. So the next thing is that, wait, hold on, stay right here. So this would never, ever happen in the US. You can't pull up on the sidewalk, but here, people pull up all the time. It's their way of getting out of the way of the street. Hey, just want to pop in real quick. Please hit the like button below, subscribe, turn on notification bell, and tune in every Sunday for a new video. Thanks, see ya. So in the US, you would never see a 10 or 11 or 12-year-old by themselves on the bus. That is a huge safety hazard. Only here, from my experience in Slovenia, would you ever see this because it's such a safe environment. Parents feel very comfortable with their children. Again, 10, 11 years old, riding the bus by themselves. So the fourth thing I'm going to talk about is the defense of the culture. Slovenes are very protective of their language. I talked about this in the 3-month video, so you can check that out here. It looks like this, the thumbnail. So anyways, they're very protective of the culture. They want you to speak their language, they want you to listen to their music, and they want you to eat their food. Okay, so the next thing, the fifth thing, is that Slovenia has a very strong coffee culture. I've talked about this before because I messed up making the coffee in the past, but speaking at the cafes here in Slovenia, they're all amazing, first off, but also you can go to basically any restaurant and have a coffee after your meal. In the US, you only get coffee at coffee shops or bakeries or something like that, but here in Slovenia, pretty much after any meal, at any restaurant, you can have a cappuccino, an espresso, or something of that sort. So yeah, the cafe culture is a bit different than the US, and you can have coffee everywhere. So the sixth thing is that Slovenia, I believe, is the most student-friendly country in the world, at least from my experience. In the US, students pay outrageous prices for student meals in the cafeteria, while here in Slovenia, you have the študentski boni, which is basically student vouchers. So you can go to any local, you can go to a lot of local restaurants and have amazing food for at max €5. You can't be charged more than that. And most of the time it's a lot less. There's a restaurant called Žito near the center of the city in Bavarski Dvor, where you can have a sandwich for free with a soup and a side of like an apple or a banana as well, but it's completely free. In the US, you would never find something like this. So I believe Slovenia is the most student-friendly country in the world. Number 7, Slovenia is a very laid-back culture. I've had several experiences here of a very nonchalant, laid-back culture versus the US. One of the examples was when I went to get my passport photo taken. I went in, had the picture taken, and the lady said, "Hey, come back in 20 minutes. In the US, you would literally just sit there and wait it out. The next instance was when I was at the residency office. He said, hey, come back in 3 hours. I put my name down to be in line and he made me wait. But this was interesting. He said, go have a coffee, go to the cafe and come back and see me in a little while. In the US, again, you would literally just sit there and wait. If you left, you would lose your spot in line. So it's a very different culture in that way. Oh yeah. So the last experience I had was when I was waiting for my residency. So here in Slovenia, as an American citizen, I can come for 90 days without a visa. After the 90-day period, I have to leave for 90 days in order to stay here for a while. But what happened was I was waiting for my residency all the way up until 4 days before I had to leave the country. And I think this just speaks to the culture of Slovenia. It's very laid back, nonchalant. For me, it was the biggest deal in the world. I was in such a hurry, scrambling and wanting answers, but they said, just wait, we'll figure it out, we'll get it done. All right, so the eighth thing, sorry, that's cringe. So the eighth thing is actually food. It's no surprise to you that the US has very, let's just say, unhealthy food options. I did a video a couple weeks back in my hometown. You can check that out after this video, but I showed you a ton of the food that I would have, my favorite restaurants, and I even showed you something that my grandparents would cook, which is delicious, by the way. But the food isn't known for being the most healthy. Here in Slovenia, the food is incredibly healthy. You have a lot of amazing options, and actually even at the McDonald's and the fast food restaurants, they have to uphold the same standard as a local restaurant. So the chicken is, I believe it's harvested in Slovenia, is that right? So chicken's actually harvested here in Slovenia, which is just mind-blowing because in the US, when you eat McDonald's, you don't know what you're getting, truly. You don't know what it is. But you know, you can see in this picture here, I went to the market the other day and these potatoes are covered in mud and dirt. So you can see that they're sourced directly from the farm. In the US, you would never see this. Every vegetable is going to be pretty clean. You'll definitely have to rinse it off when you get home, but you're never gonna see them caked in mud or dirt. I also had this experience with carrots a while back. So the vegetables are sourced directly from the farms and you're not dealing with, I guess, mass-produced products. Here you're getting very homegrown and local products, which just makes Slovenian food so much better. In the past, I tried traditional Slovenian food. So speaking on the food a bit more, in the past, you've seen my traditional Slovenian food video. If you haven't, check that out after this. But the food here is amazing. All the meats are sourced locally. The veggies are very fresh, they're bright and colorful, and the food is so warm and delicious. You'll absolutely love it. Also, the desserts are great. Obviously, they don't have the meats and the veggies and all that, but you can check those out. But yeah, so the food here in Slovenia is much different than the US, but it's much healthier. And personally, I love it. I don't know if I like it more. Maybe I do. I don't know. It's tough to say at this point, but yeah. Oh. Okay. So the ninth point. The ninth point is that Slovenes are less outgoing. And I don't mean this in a bad way. In the US, oftentimes in public, you will hear very loud and outgoing people. And also they'll approach you, you know, they'll come up to you with a microphone, maybe at points, or they'll come by you with a big speaker blaring music, or they'll come to you with a survey. Here in Slovenia, people are more reserved, but they also respect your privacy more. I think in the US, it's maybe not as frowned upon as it should be, of people disrupting you. And I think it's very common for people just to try to create their own personas and to be very loud. But here in Slovenia, people kind of are head down, I'm going here, just because they respect others' privacy and they want people to do the same to them. So yeah, that's a difference between people in the US. I think that they oftentimes come across as very outgoing, which could be true, but I'll say that a lot of people in the US are much more in your face than they should be. And here in Slovenia, I really love the fact that they're pretty to themselves and that they don't, I don't know, like, it's nice not to be, to go on a nice walk with your family or something and someone not to come to you with a microphone or filming you or asking you for a survey. Also here in Slovenia, you're not allowed to film other people, and that is because of the GDPR rule from the EU, which basically it protects privacy for individuals. So unless it's like a concert or a big crowd where people should expect to be filmed, you're really not allowed to film people. And so I actually respect that too, because you know, in the US, you can walk up to anyone and put a camera in their face. So it's very interesting to me, and I do love the fact that Slovenia is very private and respectful. Did you start it? Can you start it? Did you? Oh, okay. This week, I'm coming at you. So anyways, that's the first thing. I'm not gonna include that part. Hold on. Slow down. Okay, so the next thing is the cafe culture in Slovenia. As you know, Europe is known for its cafe culture. They have one of the examples when I was